It's called an abonga.
So
Okay.
you're gonna, it's here, here, here. Exactly. Yours is prettier than mine. Yes, yes, yes. We should do a
Thank you.
trade. We should do a
Thank you.
trade.
So I'm gonna ibonga out of here.
Exactly.
The lives of Broadway performers are busy. They only have a few short hours between their matinee and evening performances, and they're giving us an inside look, from grabbing a bite to unwinding, plus a backstage tour. Have you ever wanted to see what we do in the time sandwich between performances? Follow along and find out. This is Broadway Sandwich. Today we're at the Minskoff Theater, home of one of the biggest Broadway shows of all time. They're about to finish up their matinee. That show, of course, The Lion King. To give you an idea of how massive this show is, there are 25 global productions around the world. 232 puppets, which took 37,000 hours to make, along with the masks, and 6 different indigenous African languages spoken in the show. Today, we get to meet up with Bradley Gibson, who plays none other than Simba himself. Bradley joined the cast about a year ago after starring in A Bronx Tale, plus a stint on the national tour of Chicago and his Broadway debut in Rocky. Bradley! How was your show?
Good, you know, two-show day.
Matinee went well?
Yeah.
Good, cool. So we only have a few short hours before we have to get you right back to the theater
Yeah.
to do your second show. So what's the plan now?
Let's go to Little PS Kitchen.
Okay.
Then we'll get a manicure, a little
Oh,
self-care.
that sounds good because I need help with these cuticles.
they'll fix that.
Let's do, and then maybe a theater tour after?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Perfect.
Cheers.
It's so nice to get to know you and spend
Nice
time
to meet
together.
you.
Talk about the difference between doing new work and doing something that is an institution.
Lion King has been going for almost 22 years now. You're jumping on a moving train that is
Yeah.
moving at full speed, and it's not gonna stop for anybody, you know? You gotta jump on.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at that. And you saw The Lion King as a kid.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. I mean, everybody knows The Lion King.
Yeah.
Does that put a lot of pressure on you? How does that change, like, doing that musical?
Yes, just because I love the movie so much. It was the first movie I ever saw in the movie theater.
Really?
As a kid with my mom, yeah. I remember sitting there and loving it, and so I had a Lion King comforter and a Lion King birthday party. So, yeah, it's terrifying every day, but so exciting.
And how do you relate to Simba's journey?
It's really a story about healing.
Right.
How do I move past this pain? How do I face it head on, talk about it, feel it, breathe into it, but then let it go and use that to a better good, you know? I think that's really what I connect with most in the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's spa day.
It's spa time.
I need to get my nails done, right?
Yes.
Because it's crusty.
These cuticles,
We need to go.
janky.
Ready to roll?
Let's do it.
Okay. Woo!
Let's
It's a cute spring day for our
do
self-care
it.
day. Let's go this way.
Yeah.
Okay. So what kinds of things have you learned about yourself with each show that you've done and about the business?
Yeah. Bronxo taught me about the community and about how, you really make friends that feel like family, that are, everyone's lifting each other up.
So what have you learned from The Lion King?
Oh, The Lion King is teaching me how to survive an 8-show week and how to have a life.
Outside
Outside of the show.
And a big feature of that is, of course, keeping our nails right, which we're
Oh
about
my
to do.
gosh,
Can't
yes,
wait.
taking care of yourself. Yes.
All right, so we also have to make sure our nails are nice because that ring on your fourth finger
right,
needs to be highly featured. Tell me
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, I got engaged in February, so it's
Congratulations.
a new addition to my hand.
And tell me about him.
He is also a performer. He
Yeah.
was just in Once in the Silent on Broadway. His name is Adam. He is the best. I knew really early on when we met that this was the person that I wanted to spend my life with.
What other kind of stuff do you get into between shows to relax?
Sometimes I like to go home. I think it's nice to kind of go home and have that quiet of your own space.
Totally. And then what do you do after your second show of the day?
I finished the show, literally climbing Pride Rock and bowing to the kingdom and hearing the roar of the crowd. So coming down from that is sometimes hard. So I try to just kind of get quiet. I could stay here all day.
I am gonna stay here all day.
We can accommodate.
We gotta do a show. I gotta do another show. It's time to go.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Okay, Bradley, this is a really fun part of the show. It's our 60-second sandwich. 60 seconds on the clock. You gotta answer as many questions as you can in that time. Are you ready?
Okay, let's do it.
Here we go. Clock's on. Facebook's Leah Passione wants to know other Disney roles you want to tackle.
Hercules.
Instagram's Britville wants to know about others in The Lion King.
Scar.
Ever dress up as a Disney character as a kid?
Yes, Mickey Mouse.
Instagram's Marissa K. Connolly, favorite song to perform from A Bronx Tale?
Hurt someone.
Favorite song from Lion King?
Endless night.
Amazing. 42 seconds. Same user, favorite memory from A Bronx Tale?
The family I created.
Do you take your makeup off between every show?
Sometimes I do.
Okay. Finley Mullen on Instagram wants to know how long the makeup takes before each show.
About 20 minutes.
Favorite post-show treat?
Popcorn.
Our Brian Lee on Instagram wants to know how much does the headwear in the show weigh, and are there any special measures to avoid injury?
It's about 5 pounds. Gotta do a lot of neck stretching.
Love it. 15 seconds. Best advice ever received.
Don't take yourself too seriously.
Callum Fisher on Instagram wants to know what's the funniest mishap ever on stage.
No, my mic fell out of my mask on stage. Awful.
5 seconds. Last question. Lynn's RC on Instagram. How does being so young on Broadway feel?
Crazy, amazing.
Crazy, amazing. That's it. 11. Nailed it.
Did it.
Perfect. Now we got to get you back to your show.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
We're back. Here we are.
Home sweet home.
Uh-oh. I'm locked out.
Are you still on the payroll?
I'm still here, I think. I think. We're in. All right.
This feels like a Disney elevator.
Going up.
Wardrobe, hair, makeup, puppet department. Because you have 232 puppets, which I learned. Yeah, that is insane.
Here we are.
Oh, it's the stage level?
Stage right.
Right.
Yep.
And you've got all the stuff flown up.
Yeah.
Gotta
Up
make
in
room.
graveyard.
The cheetah.
Yeah, the cheetah's
Okay.
up there.
The cheetah is my favorite part.
the
One of my
best
favorite
part.
parts of the show. She is so incredible how she moves that thing.
So graceful.
And I see Zazu right here.
Zazu's right here, the puppet.
Even coordinating turquoise pillows to go with the colors of the bird. Perfect.
Everything's right here, the Lion King.
I love that.
This is the men's bunker.
Wow.
Yeah, the hyenas are here.
Oh, it really is like a magical African fort.
Yeah, right?
Whoa. These are so special.
This is the coolest part to me.
Lionesses.
This really kind of shows what the costumes do for the show. Julie Taymor did a pretty good job,
Julie
right?
Taymor, Elton John, Tim Rice. Not bad.
Not a bad group.
Not bad at all. Completely nervous because I
Great.
feel like I'm gonna go on stage. Okay, so you come out this wing.
Right out this wing,
And you-
I land
Jeez,
center
quite an
stage,
entrance.
and I start the show. Yeah,
Oh man, I love this theater.
pretty big, right?
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, I always forget how wide it is, how vast.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you find special about being up here? Anything you think about when you're
I
up
think
on the
about
stage?
when I first saw the show. When I first saw the show in high school, I sat in the center row of the mezzanine, and I was taken by such a surprise to see so many people on stage that looked like me. It reinforced my dreams. It made me feel like there was a place for me here. You know, being from North Carolina, from a little small town, I always kind of felt like, how could I get to New York? How could my dreams become a reality?
Yeah.
But then I saw this show. I'd
This was
never
it.
seen a show with the black cast on Broadway or on tour, community theater, anything like that before. So this was my first experience seeing a full stage of people dancing and singing and acting that looked like me. And that did so much for me. I remember I got back home to North Carolina and I kind of was on a mission then to really, really understand how to become a professional and how to do it and how to get here. And it's crazy to think that, 14 years later, I'm in the same show.
So you come out and there's this incredible parade of animals for that Circle of Life moment. And I was like really overcome with something.
Yeah.
Watching it, I was surprised myself at how emotional I got with that moment because you're immediately transported.
Yeah.
Powerful.
It's very powerful because you are always affecting someone else out there in the audience. It's their first time.
Right.
So how do I make that an exciting moment for their first time? How do I make them feel something for the first time? And how do I kind of get over myself, Because I remember being that high school boy from North Carolina in the first row of the balcony. Just,
I
Pretty
love that.
crazy.
Now, when I was watching the show also, I couldn't help but think, I mean, so much of the show is about who comes before us, the people before us. Can't help but think about my parents, particularly the moment when we've all seen the movie, what happens to Mufasa, Simba's father. Mufasa lies dead on the center of the stage.
Yeah.
And little Simba's like, come on, Dad, wake up.
Yeah.
Come on, what are you doing?
Yeah.
He doesn't understand, you know, his father's gone. It's so beautiful to see that tragedy can be overcome and that those people who we lose along the way always stay with us, you know? Sorry.
Yeah, I know. One of my favorite quotes in the world is, I come as one, but I stand as 10,000. And I think about that so much in everything that I do, but I think about that so much in this show because of my history with the show and history with my family, you know? I wouldn't be here without my family. But that's why it's beautiful too. The show is so much about healing.
Right.
Simba is healed throughout the show, so therefore I think the audience is healed too.
Yeah.
When he climbs Pride Rocket into the show, there's no way that you can't kind of feel, you know, healed and empowered. It's about animals, but it's the most human story in the world, I think.
I think so too.
Yeah.
And I think it'll be here forever. A 30-something-year-old man, I'm crying at Disney.
No, it
Anyway,
does that. It
early
does that.
30s, very early 30s,
Early,
by the way.
early.
Anyway, I want to see your dressing room before I go. I have
Let's
to see
go
it. Okay.
see it.
All right, which way is it?
This
Stage
way.
left. Okay, perfect.
Oh, here we go.
This is you?
This is my dressing room.
Okay, excuse me. This is a very nice dressing
It's
room.
really nice.
I've seen
right?
a lot of them now.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah, I share this with Steven Taylor, who plays Mufasa. So father and
With
son.
Dad.
Me
I
and
love
Dad
that.
in here.
Are there any pre-show rituals that you can tell us about before you go out there?
Yeah, pre-show I always have to sing.
Okay, for the
Chords,
juicy chord effect.
Ready.
Right.
Ready to sing.
How long do you do that for?
know, maybe like 10, 15
Okay,
minutes.
all right.
Just sit there, let it all get juicy.
And that's before the vocal warm-up.
Yeah, before the vocal
Before the
warm-up,
warm-up.
before the makeup, drink some water.
Okay.
Have some coconut water.
Get the coconut water. See,
And
I
I'll
just think
sing.
that tastes like sweat to me.
But you're so
Coconut
grateful
water.
for it when you're on stage.
True.
Because I get out on stage and I'm there without any sort of break when I
Yeah.
start.
Yeah.
So if it gets dry,
Yeah.
it's
You're done.
awful.
You're cooked.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think you have to do a second show.
I gotta do a second show.
What if I just put the Simba costume on and went out there? Do you think they would
Can
be
I go
cool
home
with that?
and you do
yeah,
it?
trade. Here,
No, we'll-
tag in.
let's
Boom,
do
done.
it.
I don't think they're gonna like that very much. Man, all right. Well, thank you for spending time with us between. It's been so
course.
cool to see how you live your life between, and you are wonderful. And
Well,
thank you.
thank you.
Yeah. Bye, Bradley.
Bye.
Have a great show.
Thank you.
See ya.
See you soon.